every once in a while, I like to do a little bit of news that doesn't matter. Let's be very clear about that. It doesn't matter, but hypothetically, in an America that was a democracy, it would matter. So in a recent poll, 1 in 5 respondents said they've applied for unemployment insurance since the pandemic began. About 3 in 10 have applied for SNAP food aid or gone to a food bank, and 1 in 5 have struggled with at least one rent or mortgage payment. So this is to let you know that the need for assistance is definitely out there. All of this is what we've already experienced. We're now entering into a winter where we're gonna have increasing COVID deaths, as well as the flu is gonna be back too. Let's not forget about that. And according to the latest numbers from the Labor Department, roughly 19 million Americans are currently receiving unemployment insurance. We're also anticipating the potential for up to 40 million people to be at risk for eviction if that isn't dealt with. So that's the groundwork. Now, the news that doesn't matter, that is that the top stimulus provision that most likely voters are interested in seeing is another round of stimulus checks. I don't like that terminology, but that's what they're calling them here. 75% of poll respondents said this was what they'd want prioritized in another package. Now, beyond those checks, they want food aid, expanded unemployment insurance, money for coronavirus testing, and small business support. Those are other areas that people highlighted. At least half of those polled signaled that those provisions were important to them. And all of that would be important and relevant if we had a government that was actually responsive to the will of the people. But Mitch McConnell just got reelected, caring nothing about any of those things. The only priority he has is protecting corporations from lawsuits, which it turns out when you poll people about is not actually one of their major priorities. Liability protections for businesses, that was seen as vital by just 23% of people. They listed it as a priority for the negotiations. I think that that number is obscenely high, but it is very, very low in comparison to everything else that's being discussed. But that is the thing that is driving the ongoing conversation, whether we're gonna have that thing that people don't care about.
Listen, I don't think 23% is insanely high for wanting some form of liability protection, because what that should do is give you faith in human beings, that when they hear something like the word protection, they're into it. It also gives you faith in human beings that 7% of people see right through that. But I don't begrudge people. And also small business owners are probably like, listen, it is very difficult to live in a world where you can get sued for anything. Like, I get it. But the important thing to focus on is the vast disparity between right now, Mitch McConnell, we showed it earlier in the show, like Mitch McConnell calls these even. He's like, well, if you want to switch one out for the other, that's your call. But it's not. It's not even. The thing you're pushing for is vastly less popular than the thing that we're pushing for. And the we, that's all of us. It makes sense. People want to have some kind of support to get them through the day. Mitch McConnell has found a way to be so detached. He's taken advantage of ticky-tack BS, of poorly worded rules in the Constitution, to take advantage of the way the Senate gives you way more power than it should in every possible way. And he's holding that and with things that he wants us to believe are like mainstays of legislating, that like the filibuster, as we know, it's been around since 1974 or something. Like this isn't the tried and true old standards of the Constitution. This is stuff that he's made up recently. Why? Because he knows that the only way he can hold on to power is through mechanisms like that. If you ask, as John just pointed out, as you just pointed out, like if you ask people, most Americans agree with us.
Yeah. Remember that segment you used to have, the most Americans agree? Yeah, 100%. He's abusing the sort of structural, foundational inequity in how political power is divvied up. And also this is not sort of a fundamental part of the structure. It's just sort of drawn from our history. The fact that, like, hypothetically, these tools could be used by either side. You could have a standing filibuster for literally everything to hurt Democratic priorities or to hurt Republican priorities. But that isn't actually how it works out, because the Republicans don't really have priorities. Every once in a while they pass massive tax cuts, that's about it. But when it's not like the rich desperately need help and the poor desperately need help. Which one's gonna win? No, one side desperately needs help and the other is doing pretty good. And so like tools that theoretically stop the progress for both sorts of legislation, that's not actually what we have. We have one side that is perfectly happy to have the government accomplish literally nothing, and the other side that has a few of its members that are pushing for some sort of actual progress. And so the result is generally nothing happens. And that is benefiting Mitch McConnell's position right now. And it's certainly hurting the millions of people that desperately need this aid.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.